Hello everybody, this is James with Kelvin Tides, and in this series of videos I'm going to show you how I like to use Autodesk 123D Design in combination with Inkscape to create my own custom designs that I'll cut out on the K40 lasers. If you don't have Autodesk 123D Design, it's no longer supported by Autodesk. As you can see, you can go to their website and you can see that they're no longer offering this particular software. However, you can still get it. At least at the time of this recording, you can get version 2.2.14 from this website here. I'll leave a link in the description below, and I have verified that this is a good virus-free working installation, free download. Once you have Autodesk 123D Design installed, you open it up, start a new project here. And the first thing I want to point out is I've got my grid size laid out to the size of the cutting area on my K40. You don't actually have to do that, but I find it helps me sort of visualize the parts that I'm making and the layout and how they might be laid out on the bed to cut out. And so if you want to set your grid size to your specific cutting area, just press the question mark here, go to Preferences, and then the tab it says Units and Grid. You can change the width and the height. You can also use a custom preset. So today I'm going to just show you a very simple project here. We're going to make a very simple tab box. This is something that you could do just in Inkscape by itself, but I just wanted to give you sort of an overview of the workflow. So as we do more videos and get into more complex and intricate projects, you'll have an idea of how to follow along. And so what I like to do is start out here on the primitives. Just press this button here and I'll pull out a box, and we can set the length, width, and height right off the bat. So I'm just going to set the length at 100 millimeters, the width at 80 millimeters, and the height I'm going to set at 5 millimeters because that's the size of the material thickness that I'm going to be using. I'll be using 5 millimeter plywood. That's the important thing to remember when you're designing in 3D is your material thickness. I'm going to take this. This is going to be the base of our box here, the bottom of the box. I'm just going to press Control C and Control V on the keyboard, and it's going to create a copy that I can move, or I could just leave it there. We're just going to move it out here, and I'm going to just click on it again, and I'm going to go down here to Smart Scale. You can press Control B for that if you want. And I'm just going to resize this to make our tab. I'm going to make it 5 by 5 by 20. And again, I'm not going to make a lot of tabs on this box. I'm going to go ahead and probably do one tab for each side of the box. And so I'm going to use this snap tool up here to take this tab that I've just created. I'm going to choose a face of the tab to snap to the side of this box over here. There, it goes right to the middle. And so now I'm going to select the tab again, press Control C, Control V. I'm going to create a copy, and I'm just going to leave this copy out here so we can use this for more tabs. So I'm going to press Control C, Control V again, and now I've got two copies right here. And so I can take and I can snap this copy to the other side of our box over here, and see it left copy behind, so I can still keep pressing Control C, Control V to use this copy, or I can actually use any copy I want. I can Control C, Control V on this copy for another tab, and this one I'm going to turn because we're going to put it down on this side here. So we'll click away, and then we'll go snap, and I'll choose the face that's facing us and snap it right here. And so we've got 3 tabs that are ready to go. Another thing I can do is press Control C, Control V to just create a copy of the one we just made, and then I can just drag that copy the amount of millimeters away, which is going to be 105, negative 105, and then it's on the other side. So now we've got the base of our tabbed box with our tabs. Of course, they're not all connected yet, and so what I'm going to do is go up to the Combine menu here, and I'll select Merge, and I will just click all the tabs and then the base, and then click away, and now that's all connected as one piece. And so I'm going to pull out another box here, and if you don't set the size of the box right away as you pull it out, that's okay, because we can always do that after with the Smart Scale. And so I'll just bring the Smart Scale up. We'll create actually this one we're going to go 40 on the height, and we're going to go 5 on the width, and we're going to go 100 on the length. And you can see this is like a side wall here, and so you can see it's kind of sticking through the grid, which is okay. We can bring that up to the surface by just selecting it and pressing D on the keyboard, and that's basically dropping the primitive to the work surface here. Instead of dragging it over, I'm just going to snap. I like to use the snap tool quite a bit, so I'm going to snap this right to the center of that tab. And you can see I've got a little arrow, and I can pull it forward or backward, or I could rotate it if I wanted to, but I just want to pull this back 5 millimeters so it sticks to, well, it's not sticking, but it's going to be lined up with the surface of the box, and the tab is going to, you can see it's going to be sticking through. And I'll click away, and then I'll click it again and press D to bring it back up to the surface. And you can see that tab is sort of sticking through the box. And so we're going to create a slot where that tab is, so that it will go into the wall of our primitive. Before I do that, I want to create the top of the box, so I'm going to press Control C, Control V on this base. I'm just going to drag it up to the surface here, and it looks like 35 millimeters brings it right up to the top. And if I wasn't sure about that, what I could do is I could just select both of these and then press A on the keyboard, and I'll get this sort of alignment matrix, and I can align to the top, to the middle, to the bottom, and of course along any of these points. And so I would just click that, and you can see it aligns it to the top, and you get the check mark, and you just press the check mark. It's like pressing OK. So now I've got a top to the box, I've got the bottom to the box, and I've got one side wall here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the top of the box, I'm going to select that, I'm going to hold Shift on the keyboard and select the base so that they're both selected at the same time. I'm going to press Control C, Control V, and it's going to copy and paste one of each of those in place. And I'm just going to click away, I'm going to leave those in place, and then I'm going to go up to our Combine menu, and I'm going to choose Subtract. So we're going to subtract this side wall, that's going to be our target, and then the source is going to be these two copies that we've created, so we'll select those and then just click away. And now if I move this out of the way, you can see that those slots have been cut out of our sidewall using those other two pieces with the tabs. And so I'll press Control Z to put that back, and now I can either take this sidewall, make a copy of it, and put it on the other side. But before we do that, we want to make this shorter side here. And so what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to take Control C, Control V, copy paste this side wall that has the tabs cut out, and I'm going to grab right here this axis, and I'm going to turn it 90 degrees this way, and then I'm going to click away, and I'm going to snap this face onto this tab down here, and you can see it puts it down again, centers it on that tab. So we'll select it, press D on the keyboard, and it's going to drop it onto the work surface. And you can see it's not actually lined up, so we're going to move it back 5. Oh, there we go, and that's lined up. And as you can see here, this side is longer than the side we just created. And so instead of resizing this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up to this button here where I can modify, and I'm going to choose Press Pull. I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to click this face here, and I'm going to click this face over here. So we're going to press Pull, and we're going to bring it back 5. Oh, so it's a -5. And you can see now this corner, they're all lined up, and of course if we had a piece over here, these would be lined up too. So that's fine. So that's going to need a couple of slots on the sides, and this one's going to need a couple of tabs. And so just for now, I'm going to move this out of the way. I'll bring it out 15 away, and then I can take and copy paste our tab primitive over here and create a copy so that I can snap one onto this side, and then we'll just do copy paste, and we'll just drag this out to the other side, 105, and then I can merge that. So I can go back to the combine menu and select merge, and I can take these two tabs that I just made and then merge it to this side wall of the box, and then I can move this one back a -15. We moved it away 15. Of course, I could just line it up again with the snap tool and drop, but I know that it was 15 millimeters away, so we just drag that back, and now I can create a copy of the side wall with the tabs on it now. Copy, paste, and leave that in place. Click away, and then we're going to grab this. No, actually, first we're going to go up to our menu, our combine menu. We're going to choose subtract, and we're going to choose this wall here, and then we're going to subtract it with the copy we made over here. And so if I pulled this away, you can see we've got a tab cut out for our side wall here, but we need another one over there. We could have done them both at the same time, but we didn't. So we'll just copy paste this, and then we'll drag it to the other side. And so that's going to be 85, because our box is 80 millimeters wide and our material is 5 millimeter thickness. And so we've got this wall over here, and we can copy paste, leave it in place, click away, and then we can go to the back to combine and choose subtract, and we'll choose this piece here, and we'll subtract it with our copy that's sitting here. And then so I move this away, now you can see all those tabs are cut out on the top, bottom, and both sides. And this piece, the same thing. We've got our two tabs on the sides and our two slots on the top and bottom. And so just undo that, and I can take this piece here, copy paste, and I can pull it out to this side here, and 105 millimeters, and there it is. There's our box. Our box is done. Okay, so now that our box is done and we've got all the pieces we need, we're going to go over here and we're just going to select this tab, and we're going to press delete on the keyboard to get rid of that. And I'm going to leave this box intact as a model, so I want to select the whole thing. And I'm going to move it up off of the work surface, because we only need a few pieces to export to cut the box out. We're going to edit in Inkscape, and so the first thing I'm going to do is select the bottom here, press Control-C, Control-V, click away, select it again, and then drop that copy onto the work surface here. I'm going to take this long sidewall piece, Control-C, Control-V, and we're going to move it out, and then I'm going to orient the piece to the work surface by turning it 90 degrees. Click away, select it again, and then press D to drop that on the work surface. And then I'll take this piece here on our short side, Control-C, Control-V, and pull it away. We'll turn it 90 degrees, and then click away, select it, press D, and we'll drop that down on the work surface. And so all we need is these three pieces, because we need two of each. And so I'm just going to export these three pieces. We'll fix them up in Inkscape, and we'll make two cuts. You could actually export, all 6 pieces that you need for the box, and you could do it that way if you just want to make one continual cut. We've got plenty of room to do that with this particular project on our work surface, but I'm just going to go ahead and export these 3. So we're going to go up here to our main menu here, export as 2D. We've got a few options here, SVG, DWG, DXF, create 2D layout. I'm just going to choose SVG, and you can see we've got the pieces that are laying on the work surface are highlighted in red, and those are the pieces that will be exported to an SVG. So we'll just press the check mark here, and I've already done this before, so we'll just overwrite it. We'll just save it as box SVG, and yes, I'm going to replace that. So yes, and so you can join me in the next video where we show you how to set it up in Inkscape to get it ready to cut on the K40.